Hello everyone, Luke Taylor here, and I thought it'd be a good video just to sit down and reminisce a little bit and talk about 5 songs that I was obsessed with as a teenager. Now, the thing about being a teenager is you're going to be obsessed with at least one song, some kind of music. It's really a great age when you're really discovering your tastes, and it really reflects the time you grew up in. Now, I was 13 in 2001. I started playing guitar in 2001 as well. So I'm just going to go back, and these are 5 songs that I remember really being obsessed with as a teenager. And I got a little clip for you. So here we go. First one, number 5. So the first one comes from 2004, and I was 16, so I was a sophomore in high school. And the song is Keane, Somewhere Only We Know. The album is Hopes and Fears. It was their debut album, still my favorite Keane album, and one that holds a lot of memories for me, and that's why I brought this song up, because you will still hear it in the grocery store, in the mall sometime, in some store that you're in. And just from the very beginning, with that piano and the driving tone and then the drums, it just was such a cool thing. I had not heard any band like this. I had not heard any band that really blended all that is awesome about kind of British pop rock and just the sound, the style. Everyone who knows Keane knows they're very unique, especially back then with Hopes and Fears. And just what a beautiful song. I mean, you know, around that time, there was some different kind of like new metal was doing its thing. I mean, kind of R&B was kicking up, and like rap and stuff, and I don't know what rock was doing yet, like Nickelback and stuff. And then you have Keane doing Hopes and Fears. Somewhere Only We Know is the first single. I remember watching the video quite a lot, at that time. And I just really, really love this song. It's probably my favorite song. That album was fantastic, but this song I was just obsessed with, and I really tried to play it on the piano just by ear, and I failed miserably. But I could always close my eyes and kind of, feel that kind of emotion that they were singing about. And it really takes me back to that time. I was totally obsessed with this song as a teenager.
This feels like another dream, trapped underneath my own routines. I tried to lift it off of me. I give up, I just sit and bleed. I'm paralyzed, I'm stuck in the middle and I'm paralyzed.
So coming in at number 4 was another song from 2006. That belongs to Rock Kills Kid, and the song was Paralzyed. Now, I remember watching David Letterman with my father, and we would always watch for new bands. I remember we actually saw The Killers for the first time ever on TV. That was very cool. But this was another band that we saw for the first time, and after we saw this song, I went out and got the CD. And Paralzyed is such a cool song. I mean, ridiculous lyrics, but it's just so well written. If you haven't heard the song, I mean, I have links to all these below, of course, if you want to hear them. But just that bass line, I just love that. And I didn't have a bass yet, so anytime I got my hands on a bass, like at someone else's house or at Guitar Center or whatever, that's the bass line I would play. I figured it out by ear, and I would play it. I just totally love this song. On my iTunes play count, it was very, very high. I think it was one of the highest songs. And it was so short, and just you could listen to it a bunch of times in a row. You could sing it. It's just super catchy. I was totally obsessed with this song as a teenager. So number 3 comes from 2004, and that is a band that I really love and have listened to constantly over the years, and that is Chevelle. Now the thing is that this song is the very first Chevelle song I ever heard. It is the Clincher, and it was on the Madden NFL soundtrack from that year. And I remember never having heard anything like this. I was kind of into some heavier hard rock bands at the time. kind of the whole Creed Nickelback thing was going on, but this was a band that was like just heavier, and I really liked how bassy it was. The rhythms were so cool. They were catchy, but they were also like kind of there was that emotional singing and just the choruses, and I don't think I'd heard anything down-tuned that low at that point. I mean, a band like Korn was going on, but there's some of these bands I had not heard yet. Chevelle was like the first of this kind of alt metal or whatever you want to call it that I had heard. And yeah, I believe the video for this type of thinking song, what was the next song? Vitamin R. That came out a little bit after I had heard the song, the Clincher. So I was just like, I was already in it, and I remember getting the album as a gift for Christmas. I remember listening to it Christmas Eve by myself. There's no one in the house, and just the lights were off, and I was listening to it. And it was a cool experience for me, really important experience. And it's a very important band for me, but that's where it started. And I was totally obsessed with that song as a teenager. I really should do a cover of it on this channel because, man, it's going way back. I did play that song a lot when I was very young. So, yeah, really good memories with that song. And now the number 2 song I was obsessed with as a teenager. This was right in the beginning, right when I first started playing guitar. The song is My Sacrifice by Creed. Of course, Creed has been totally bashed over the years, and some points with good reason. The first album is awesome, the second album's but the third album, Weather, that was a really huge hit. People should remember like how important that was to rock at the time. I remember seeing them play My Sacrifice at the halftime show and a Thanksgiving game. Was the Cowboys and somebody else, but they were playing it in Dallas there, and the Cowboys. And I remember not long after that, we went to Target and we got the album, and I remember we listened to the album in the car on the way home, and it was just one of those really cool memories. And I had gotten a guitar that had a D-tuner, and I got like a weathered tab book, and it really helped me kind of get into guitar and music that was like contemporary hard rock or something. And I do have very, very fond memories looking back, and that is still a great song. I really love that song. It's probably my favorite Creed song because it has, I think it doesn't have the cheese that the other ones have. People might think that it does, but it's really great, and I really remember that time fondly. And of course, I learned the whole thing. It's a very simple song. It's probably like the most simple Creed song. And yeah, I was just crazy about it as a kid. I always loved when it came on the radio, like in the store or something. I would always sing to it. Yeah, just excellent, excellent song. Still love that song, and I really should do a cover of it sometime. But that goes way back to the beginning for me, and I have, again, very fond memories of hearing that for the first time, and then what that projected me into. Because life is just a trajectory that you have to start somewhere, and it was a very long path from learning about guitar and stuff as a teenager, and then going into my 20s when I got really technical and studious with my playing and really took it to the next level. It was just really what started a lot of the love for like hard rock songwriting and hearing music in a different way, because it wasn't classic rock. Creed is not like I don't know, Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin or something like that, or Queen. They are their own thing, and I hadn't really heard that kind of stuff. So I do have very fond memories about it, and yeah. Okay, and so at number 1, the number 1 song I was obsessed with as a teenager was from 1978. It was the all-time classic Eruption by Van Halen. And I know that everyone all fans of music, the first time you hear Eruption, it's one of those moments. And again, think of the guitar rock playing landscape at the time. No one had ever heard anything like this, and I really think that whoever you are, if you've never heard anything like this, because we've progressed way beyond in technical guitar now, and people are doing things, even little kids are doing things on YouTube that are mind-blowing, but back in the day there was nothing like this. And I remember, because I'd never heard anything like this, and just the incredible passion, the creativity, the composition, the energy. It blends, you know, classic rock with blues with classical music. That little harmonic minor thing that he does, and then to the very end of the song where it fades out and he does that cool trick with the delay pedal. Of course, this is something that has been analyzed to death over the years. People have figured out every which way how to do it and how he did it. Discussing his amps and his tone and his guitars, because he really was an inventor, a creator, a guy who took guitar to the next level. It's really a moment of singularity in music history, and it kind of felt like that to me. It's like once, as a young guitar player, you know, I heard it when I was 13, so I just started playing, and it was like, whoa, once you hear that, it's like you're never going back to thinking that guitar can't do that. You realize that the guitar can do things that can make you feel special, that can make you go, wow, epic things and incredible things. And of course you can just play simple songs and sing along and make people happy too, but then you can play some really, really cool stuff like Eruption. And so I was totally obsessed with that song as a teenager, and I listened to it over and over and over and over and over and over, and still when I hear the original album version, it takes me back to that first time when I heard it, and it's still special. It's still a really, really special song, and I just have like a really pure memory about listening to that song. So yeah, I really should learn it. I did learn a little bit over the years, but I haven't learned the whole thing. But it would be really fun to do a cover of that for sure. Okay, everyone, those are 5 songs that I was obsessed with as a teenager. I would love to hear 5 songs that you were obsessed with as a teenager. It's really cool to know the context and the experience and the backstory. And if you like this video, I can always do another one. I'm sure there were 5 more songs that I was obsessed with as a teenager. So please let me know what you were obsessed with, and if you can still listen to it and enjoy it, if you still have fond memories or what. Yeah, so that's it for me for right now for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out all the other videos on this channel. I have a lot of content, everything from reactions to album reviews to my own playing, and I upload 3 to 4 videos every week, so I know you'll find something you love. Hope you're having a great day. See you later.